finally back. It's been a long road back. I know I tried to come back last week. I just wasn't feeling good yet. I tried, but we're back. The 49ers finished the season on a 10-game win streak, number 2 seed. We got to talk all about it. I hope everybody's been doing well. I cannot wait for the playoffs. Let's go. What's up, everybody? I appreciate you, Niner Gang, Wolfcast, everybody out there. Appreciate you guys for the nice comments. It's good to be back. I tried to come back last week. Man, I was just not feeling good, but I pushed myself to do it, to go live. I was not feeling good. I actually ended up getting bronchitis, and because I got a heart condition, it's tough for me to get better. I tried. I was done last week. I mean, I pushed through it. I was sick. But yeah, I feel a lot better. I think I'm about 90% better, but we're good. I didn't even go live on Instagram last week, so we're definitely back and better than ever. So hopefully from here on out, we'll be able to be consistent again. I was just like down and out last week. So I'm hyped up. The Niners won 10 games in a row. They were 3-4. They're 13-4. They got the number 2 seed in the NFC West. The winner of this game that's going on that we're watching, if the Packers win this game, they play the Niners. If the Packers lose to the Lions, we play Seattle. So honestly, I don't mind who we play. It's going to be a home game. It's going to be amazing. Both are going to be tough matches because, Green Bay has a lot of history with the Niners. 49ers have a lot of history with Seattle, Pete Carroll. Either way, it's going to be a tough playoff matchup. But today was a good game. They started off a little slow. People were getting cranky, of course. The Niners' second half adjustments were absolutely amazing. And I'll tell you what, man, D'Amico Ryans, he continues to impress me in the second half. And John Lynch, he's done a great job of putting together an amazing team. We'll talk about Lynch. Kyle Shanahan's done a great job play calling. Brock Purdy, man, you can't talk about this man enough. The guy has been so good, so good. It's unbelievable. Elijah Mitchell coming back today, healthy. He showed everybody what he can do. This running attack is crazy. They got so many weapons. Jordan Mason, Christian McCaffrey, that guy's phenomenal. They're 10-0 since he started as running back 1. I mean, the guy was hell of a player. I'm glad we traded for him. John Lynch should get so much credit, executive of the year, for pulling off that trade. Tashawn Gibson, 2 interceptions today. He finished the regular season with 5 interceptions. That was a preseason move. Jimmy Ward gets injured, and they go and sign him. It was a last-minute move, and the guy has been so good. Underrated signing. A guy was a 32-year-old. He's a journeyman veteran, former Pro Bowler, and they signed him, and everybody's like, I don't know, it's Sean Gibson. He's been one of the better defenders on this team. The 49ers ended up tying the Steelers for the league lead in interceptions with 20. That's crazy to me. And Emmanuel Mosley was hurt. Imagine if Mosley was there. This 49ers secondary was better than, a lot of people give him credit for. I know they've had their moments here and there, some tough moments with Lenore, but he's young. He's learning. Charvarius Ward has been worth every penny. The guy's been a dog. Jimmy Ward's really growing in the nickel. So overall, this defense has overcome a lot of injuries this year, and they've been so good. Nick Bosa falls short of the franchise record of sacks from Alvin Smith, but he leads the NFL, 18.5. He was the number 1 sack guy in the NFL and pressures. And Nick Bosa still, to me, is the defensive player of the year. He had a hell of a year. Hats off to Nick. He really carried this team for so many weeks. Fred Warner, the linebackers were great. They did miss Drake Greenlaw. Can't wait to see him back in the playoffs. Debo was back. They got his feet wet. And then George Kittle, my boy George Kittle, he really clutched it up with Brock Purdy. He had 7 of his 11 touchdowns from Brock Purdy this year. So 7 of Brock Purdy's 13 quarterback touchdowns were to George Kittle. That connection was really solid. And a lot of people, wrote off George Kittle this year. He's not a great receiver. He showed he's a top flight tight end. And Brock loves going to the tight end. It was a safety blanket, red zone weapon, and he utilized them like that. And he kind of revived that Kittle connection where people were kind of upset about this year. And man, he really broke out. He's a great blocker. We know he's a great receiver. And George Kittle went crazy. 11 touchdowns. He sets his career high in touchdowns this year. It's phenomenal, man. Kittle came to play this year. 12.7 yards per catch. The guy was a phenomenal beast through the last couple of weeks of the season. And I think he's kind of peaking at the right time. Playoffs are coming, and maybe George Kittle goes crazy in the playoffs, right? So we'll hope so. And again, Christian McCaffrey, man, this guy has been so good for this team. He runs it. He can catch the ball. He does everything. All-purpose monster. I still don't know how Christian McCaffrey was not in the Pro Bowl. It's maddening to me. But, shout out to Brock Purdy. He set the franchise rookie record for touchdowns thrown by a quarterback. He has 13 on the season. He started, 5 games? He played 6 games? That's crazy to me, man. Brock Purdy was absolutely phenomenal this year. I mean, he's a rookie. He's a young buck. Last pick of the draft. We all know his story. It's so great. The guy's been poised. He started off a little slow today, and he picked up momentum, man. And it's just so nice to see a quarterback that Kyle Shanahan trusts. He's aggressive, and it's just refreshing. He lets it throw it, he lets it throw. He lets him throw down the field. He runs the ball. He does a little bit of everything. He doesn't always take that first read. I mean, this kid he's developing right behind, in front of our eyes, and it's been nice to see. So I really love seeing Brock Purdy out there on a weekly basis go crazy, man. I mean, at this point, I think they could win it with the rookie quarterback. I know it's crazy. I know it's unheard of. I know a lot of people think it would take a miracle, but I don't know, man. I think this team is vibing. They have a great defense. Everything is just like the perfect storm right now. They got a phenomenal defense. They're clicking 10 in a row. I mean, everything's just in the right position. Defense is playing great. I mean, yeah, I know they've had some rough patches over the last 2 weeks, but you can't expect the defense to be perfect every week. For the most part, the defense carried this team. And you got to remember, the defense carried this team so many times. It's nice to see the offense carry the defense sometimes, right? So now you can see that this team can win by an offensive performance or a defensive. They're a well-balanced team, and that's what this win told me today. It's like, you know what? And last week, too, the 49ers offense is the real deal. They're scoring at least 30 points a week now. And if the defense kind of struggles, they know the offense can kind of carry them a little bit more. And in the past, it was like defense carries. And that's not always the case anymore. It's not always the case. The offense can carry this team. It's crazy to me. So I'm going to pause real quick. I got to get someone in. I thought I gave him the link. I'll be right back. We'll be right back. I got to take a little break. All right, sorry about that. I had to give the link to someone. We're getting somebody in. But, yeah, to answer this question, Raphael, is Purdy getting better each game? To me, he is. Like, you can see he's making reads better. He's just making better decisions. To me, he is. And I think Debbie's right. The team is in a great groove. They're on a great groove with Brock Purdy. I'm going to bring in my guest here, my boy Smitty. I haven't seen this man be back. It's good to have Smitty. What's up, baby?
Bittersweet for me today. Bittersweet. There's a lot of good, a lot of bad. Obviously I'm fantasy oriented more than anything, but a lot of stuff to break down, a lot of NFL draft pick stuff I'm talking about. Cardinals go get Bijan Robinson's what I'm talking about. Watching you guys put it on my Cardinals at the end of the day, we did put up more of a fight than we should have. That's a little worrisome. Like in the beginning of the game, like it took a little while, but then you guys started, driving it home.
This is my take on it. And I said it at halftime, and a lot of people are texting me. Honestly, I think the Niners really in the first half were just like, they were kind of packing it in. I think they were like, we don't want to waste our energy. I think they didn't really want to try too hard. They didn't want to get an injury. But if you watch the second half, they asked Kyle Shanahan, are the starters coming out? He said, yes, the starters are coming out. I was not happy with their performance. So I think Kyle in the halftime was like, yo, you guys need to clutch it up. You guys need to step it up because I am not happy with the way you perform. So I think after that, you can see second half was like, whoa, these guys came out. And that's the expectation I have of the 49ers in the playoffs, the way they played in the second half. Honestly, I don't think they were going full steam first half because I think the team was like, oh, we could probably beat these guys without playing 100%. And I think Kyle was like, look, I don't care. You guys need to go out there and perform. And they were a different team that second half. But you're right. The first half, man, everybody was crying. They were texting me like, "All right, this team's not gonna." I was like, "Just wait. It's a 2-half team." And also too, I honestly, if we would have played this game half-assed, I wouldn't have been mad because I don't want this team to get any injuries going into the playoffs. So thankfully, they didn't get anybody hurt, right? But man, oh man, Brock Purdy, Smitty. Talk to me about Brock. What do you think about Brock, man? To me, he's unbelievable.
I mean, I can't predict Shanahan, though. I can't predict Shanahan. I would tell you there's no way you take this guy out of this situation. And there's a lot of rumblings about will Jimmy G be back and all that. They can't. Could I put it past Shanahan to take him out and put Jimmy in the lineup in the championship game or something? No, I can't. Purdy's amazing. Like, to do what he's doing and to like look at his footwork and his shiftiness inside the pocket. The guy, not only does he like move out of the way, you got to have eyes in the back of your head to be able to move multiple directions, different times on one play inside the pocket. He doesn't just like roll outside of the pocket or maneuver. He'll literally like shift around like a ping pong ball inside the pocket. And it's amazing. Quick feet, good feet, mobility, cannon, to a degree. Good precision, confidence through the roof, considering the pressure situations he's been in, especially against in the Miami game against the Dolphins. And then, I mean, he's looked really, really good. I think it would be crazy to take him out, but everybody thought we were crazy, Raj, when we said that Jimmy G would be on the roster in 2023. People said,
I know, they thought we were crazy. And you know what? They thought you were, Smitty, I'm going to throw this back to a couple months ago because we were here live, and I remember, I think we had me, you, Vlad. We had us on, and you said, I think Brock Purdy will start games. Now, you didn't think it was because it was injury. You thought they're going to throw him out there to give him an opportunity to be the backup because next year they're going to need a backup. And people were like, what? No. And he finally came in, and boy, oh boy, did he exceed everybody's expectations. I see some comments out there. Raul says, Raphael 562 says, is Purdy Rookie of the Year? I think he's played up to that capability. I don't know if he has enough snaps, if he's logged enough time.
Yeah.
But he should definitely be in the conversation if he's allowed to. I know there's some great rookies out there that did really good. Chris Olave, I could go down the list. But Brock Purdy, quarterback, the hardest position to play, the captain of the team, third string quarterback, took this team that has a playoff, aspirations, Super Bowl aspirations, and he came in 6 games in a row, 14 touchdowns, one was rushing. He set a record for the franchise. He played 6 games, and he set the rookie record for their throwing touchdowns with 13. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, he definitely should be in a conversation if he's allowed to be it. I think he could be. But, man, he's been so good. I do want to say real thing. We'll go back to Purdy. But there was a comment by Sad Niner fan says, salute to J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt had a hell of a career. Shout out to J.J. He did end his career in Arizona where most people end their illustrious careers.
Yeah.
But he played a hell of a game today. It was his last game. He wanted to go out there and, leave it on a good note. So I feel like that first half, they were feeding off that energy of J.J. Watt, and he really was coming after Brock. But second half, again, I think he might have been like, all right, let me just finish the deal. But going back to Brock, man, this guy is the real deal. Like, he's, like you said, one thing you really said that I've been saying over the week, poised in the pocket. His poise, God, dog, man, he is so confident. Like, I mean, pressure's coming at him. The ability to spin out the pocket and run and scramble, I love when he does it. I'm just like, God. And he makes the reads. He doesn't always take that first read. The touchdown pass to Kittle today, he's done that so many times. Finds him in the back of the end zone. Last week, the touchdown to Kittle in the back of the end zone, Kyle wanted him to go to the right side. I think he had like Ayuk or Ray McLeod on the right side. He was like, nah. He turned around, he scrambled off, and he sees Kittle back at the end zone, touchdown. And that's when he did the ice in the veins. Kyle was like, what the hell, man? And that was Brock says, not F your play. I'm gonna improvise. I'm gonna do it my way. This kid is a young, confident
Yeah.
baller, man. He's got that swag.
The thing about Brock, and this is what I said, like a month ago or more than a month ago on your show, and I'm not trying to take credit for knowing he would be this good. I'm because I was saying Trey was going to be the man, and I still believe Trey could have. I think Trey could have done what Brock's doing now had he gotten the support, and that's neither here nor there. But I did say more than a month and a half ago, Brock Purdy's better than Jimmy G. Everyone laughed at me. Everybody laughed at me in the chat. Everyone,
I remember.
He's better than Jimmy G. And he's a lot better than Jimmy G than I thought. Like I was wrong because I wasn't high enough on him as to how much better he was than Jimmy G. But what an amazing opportunity for him. I just hope that Kyle's able to somehow get his stubborn head around that this is his doing. Like if he can accept, hey, this is me, this is a reflection of me, then I think he'll stick with it. If he feels like he needs to prove that it's him and not Brock and him and not Jimmy and him and not Trey, and I can do whatever I want, then you're going to have some kind of weird in the championship game. Jimmy G. Keep in mind, when Trey Lance won that week 16 or week 17 game, I forget what week it was, against the Texans, and it was a playoff implication game, everyone came out of that game going, Trey's it. They moved on. Trey's it. And I remember saying in the live chat with you guys, I go, if he goes back to Jimmy G, and you're like, I don't think he's going. And every day that week, it started to go a little bit more and more toward, we don't know who our quarterback is. Jimmy returned to the lineup. I'm just saying that felt very, this is different. He's more cemented in, but you guys have something special here and you got to let it play out. The reason I said a month ago or over a month ago that you need to put him in there is you need to have somebody, unless you plan on bringing Jimmy G back again, which I wouldn't put it past Shanahan. You need to have somebody that has commanded starts and can win games behind Trey. If you do end up wanting to go the direction of Trey, getting Brock out there was the move to make to get him prepared and to see if maybe he's better than Trey, because this happens from time to time in the NFL. Kurt Warner, Tom Brady, not saying that Brock is those players, but those guys emerge when they're not expected to emerge. Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott. So this is all really, really good. You guys have a really good problem on your hands. I hope there's no problem, though, or dilemma in battle,
I agree. And you're right, because sometimes out of the unexpected comes the next big thing. Like this could be the next. I'm not saying that he's going to be Kurt Warner, Tom Brady, but he has the vibe. The story is unbelievable. But this is one thing I want to say, and I've been thinking about this whole situation now with Jimmy Garoppolo and and he's expected to come back. This is different to me. And one thing you said is, I feel like Brock's been cemented a little bit more. Yeah, he's played 6 games. Like that's a big deal. And he's shown like, the offense is wide open. The playbook's more aggressive. But this is, and I texted you guys in the quad, like, my text is my theory. This was my theory. And I said this months ago, when Brock first came, and the vibe I get, Kyle Shanahan's guy was Brock Purdy. This was his guy. This is his Kirk Cousins, his second coming of Kirk Cousins. He's always wanted a guy like this. He always wanted Kirk. This is his new Kirk Cousins. This was his draft pick. Wasn't John Lynch's draft pick. And I think John Lynch was the guy that wanted Trey Lance. And I think that was the move they made last year. And I think, it's documented that even Kyle said in an interview a couple months on Brandon Marshall's podcast, he goes, look, I wanted Mac Jones until I sat down and met the guy, Trey Lance, and saw his character. To me, that's the influence of John Lynch saying, hey, look at the guy's character. Da, 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 da. And I think that is why he won't take Brock Purdy out, because I think Brock Purdy is Kyle's guy. And if Brock stays in the lineup, that right there is all the evidence I need. That right there will be my conviction. That will be I will be like, listen, the reason why Jimmy's not in is because Kyle's guy is Brock, and that's him telling us. If he sticks to Brock, that's Kyle telling us this was my fucking quarterback. And look at him now. Look at him going to the Super Bowl. Like, if he makes the Super Bowl, you're right. Kyle Shanahan will look like a genius, a wizard, whatever you want to call him, a genius. And he could sit there in front of everybody. This was my pick. I picked him. It was my pick, everybody. And everybody would be like,
how much of it do you think was Peter's though. You know what I mean? And that's another thing is look up Peters continues to do is just land these gems. So I
Peters
don't.
does, but I think this was Kyle's guy. There was an interview where he says like a lot of us were looking into this guy, and I don't know if how much Peters really scouted this guy. I honestly think this was a Kyle guy through and through, and Peters does though. You're right. Peters is a phenomenal guy. He does a lot of late round picks for this team, but I feel this is Kyle's pick, man, 100%.
Hey Raj, I can't stay too long. I got to jump here, but also I won the bet. I won the bet.
I know.
Juwan Jennings, 6 touchdowns. You said he'd have 6 or more. He had 1, right? 1.
Can one?
So I'll expect a Venmo of the same amount I sent you back.
How much did you send me?
I forget.
I don't know. I'll look back at it.
Yeah.
And you, yeah.
And I may wait. I was gonna buy a Kenneth Walker jersey, which I know is gonna burn because that's a Seahawks.
Okay.
So, but I think I'm gonna wait because I think Bijan could be an Arizona Cardinal. If it is, I want that jersey.
Okay. Fair enough. Yo, congrats, Mitty. You won the bet. Juwan Jennings sold me. You know what's gonna happen? Playoffs comes. He's gonna go and get 6 touchdowns in the playoffs.
Gonna get 6 tutties, bro.
Fucking piss me off. I'm gonna be sick.
Jersey. No, I may buy the Kenneth Walker jersey, so I may not wait. I don't know, but yeah, hit me with it. I'll gladly consider my options. But I would much prefer to wear Arizona Cardinal Bijan Robinson than
real quick, Smitty. Before you leave, there was a comment from A Boogie. He says, "Kyle giving Brock that design run was giving me horrible flashbacks."
Oh,
were you scared when Brock had the design run?
Bro, I'm scared every time any player runs up the gut that isn't an RB. You know?
I think you guys were texting me like, "What is he doing?" I think you were like, "Why are you running on him?" I was just like, "Oh my god!" I had like about 10 people text me like, "What is he doing, Brock on the run?" I was like, "Oh my god!"
You guys getting Mitchell back in the nick of time is good too.
Elijah Mitchell, man, that guy came back with a vengeance today, man.
Yeah, you think he'll be healthy for the playoff run, or do you think?
I pray that he is, man. Yeah. This guy's sprained both the MCLs in his leg. He's sprained the right MCL, the left, both legs, both knees. I swear, I pray this man stays healthy.
Am I weird to like Mason a little more than Mitchell though?
No, Mason's a dog, man. Yeah. I love Jordan Mason.
I like him a little bit more. I don't know.
I love him.
I mean, Mitchell's very proven though, but I think you're good. You're good to go at running back. Like you could weather a lot. So that's good. Like, even if I'm not saying any kind of big injury, but like, let's say somebody had to sit out a quarter, be in the tent for a little while. Like, it doesn't matter. You guys have an amazing
crew.
You
know, at the end of the day, the running back situation this team has is so good, man. Like, if Mitchell has to miss some time, Jordan Mason is so good. He runs with purpose. Christian McCaffrey, the guy's been a stud. And again, Elijah Mitchell, the guy's so good. So as long as Mitchell stays healthy, we got 3 really good running backs. I mean, they have some other guys, but those 3 to me are just so good. And Debo didn't even have to play today, and he kind of got the rust off. I like that he played a little bit, knocked the rust off of Debo, get him back in there. It's gonna be dangerous. Niners in the playoffs, it's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah. So this my camera system's acting a little funky, but I have the playoff stuff up. Who do you think you're gonna face off against? Let me see if I can get that on my screen.
What's the score right now in this Green Bay game?
It's 6-3 Green Bay.
God, I really want to see the Lions pull this upset off, but I think Green Bay is going to win, and I think the Niners are going to play Green Bay.
Yeah. It'll be a fun battle. So you got Miami Dolphins at Buffalo. You've got Baltimore at Cincy. You've got the Chargers at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then that's the AFC. And then in the NFC, you've got the winner of this. Well, not the winner, but if Green Bay wins, they're in. If they lose, then you play Seattle. You got the Giants at Minnesota and Dallas at Tampa. So give me your predictions.
I want to do a prediction show with you this week, but right now, I'm going to call the upset. I'm going to see Tampa Bay beats the Dallas Cowboys.
Tampa Bay?
Yeah. I got Minnesota over the Giants. I think we'll beat whoever we play. Yeah, that's who I got in the NFC. I got Tampa Bay over Cowboys.
I don't think I can show this. I'm trying to show this. I'm sorry. Can you see my screen or no?
No. God, my back is killing me.
Yeah, my back is too, bro.
Yeah, dude, I had bronchitis. That killed my back, bro. I went to the chiropractor the other day. Adjusted the hell out of me, but it's still killing me.
I can't. I was gonna show my it's not gonna work. Let me see. Hold on. Let me try one more thing.
Let's do a show this week. Let's do a prediction show this week. Let's do it tomorrow.
All right, let me just show one more time. Let me see if I can get it.
No doubt.
There it is.
Oh,
okay.
There we go.
So yeah, so Miami at Buffalo, Baltimore at Cincy, Chargers at Jacksonville, and then the Seattle Green Bay option up top for the Niners opponent, Giants, Minnesota, Dallas at Tampa. So if I had to make my prediction real quick, I'm just this first round, then we'll go through it again. I'll just say Buffalo wins that Miami Buffalo game. Cincy wins that Baltimore Cincy game. Jacksonville, I think, beats the Chargers. The Chargers, they're both shaky. They're both very shaky. Like I find it funny when people do have that reaction, and a lot of people do. They're very shaky, both of them.
The Chargers have been an inconsistent team, but I feel like they're healthy at the right time. And
but Mike Williams got hurt again. He's out.
True. That's true.
He's out.
But I tell you what, it's going to come down to Herbert versus Lawrence.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. If I had to pick right now, I'm taking the Chargers, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Jaguars can clutch up a win. That defense yesterday, they stepped up. They got my boy Josh Allen on that team, on that defense. They got an underrated team, man. And right now, when you got momentum coming into a game, that's dangerous. But like, it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But I think the Chargers are the better.
So we differ there, but you agree with Cincinnati.
I agree with Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And I agree with Buffalo.
I'm gonna say
Miami without Tua, they're not the same team.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Green Bay wins and they're in against you guys. You guys beat Green Bay.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the Vikings beat the Giants, and I'm gonna say the Bucks beat the Cowboys. Even though I think that's a very similar game to this one right here, the Chargers and Jaguars. But I just think Tom Brady in the playoffs. He reminds me. I think I said this to you guys in a live chat, or a chat on texting. That Tom Brady's just different. When he gets in the playoffs, wins and losses don't really matter. He's just a different beast. He comes from a different era. He's the only one left. It's like the old Lakers in the 90s. It didn't matter what their record was. If they squeaked in the playoffs, they were capable as anybody of winning. They're firing on all cylinders, or more so than before. And Dallas looks shaky today.
I agree.
And Dak's always
he's a turnover monster.
Yeah, man. he's not consistent enough.
I just can't see them winning in the playoffs because they are not physical enough in the playoff. I just see Tom Brady coming in, and that's the perfect team for him to play because I honestly see, you're right, man. Tom Brady in the playoffs, don't matter. You throw out records, doesn't matter. He finds a way to win. I think Tom Brady wins first round against Dallas.
Yep. All right, I got to bounce. Appreciate you, man.
All right, my man. Take care, man. Appreciate you coming on. It's good to be back. Good to have you back. We'll be back this week, all week. Yeah.
Congrats, man. Later.
Hey, appreciate you, man. All right, there we go. Smitty in the house. Always good to have him. But yeah, let's real quick go over the game a little bit more, and then I'm gonna hop off and watch the end of this game. Honestly, I feel like the Niners really came out second half, and they said, listen, we got to show them that we're the stronger team. And they came out and they just dominated second half. And if they play like the way they did in the second half, teams aren't going to beat them. They're not going to beat them in the playoffs. So I really feel that this team knows how to adjust, and they've done it all year. 10 in a row, it's not easy, man. You're going to go through some ups and downs on a 10-game winning streak, but at the end of the day, it's very impressive. They got a strong team. Coaches have been great. And again, a lot of people step up like today. Tashawn Gibson was the guy that stepped up. Samson Ebicam had a big-time play. So guys are stepping up all year, man, and it's been fun to see. On offense, again, we can't talk about Christian McCaffrey enough. This guy's phenomenal. He's playing so good, and he has really changed the tide of this team. He was like the missing piece. And, I want to talk about Brandon Ayuk. I don't know if we talked about him enough or I mentioned him much. I talked about him earlier on Instagram. Shout out to Brandon Ayuk, man. He had his first 1,000-yard season in his career. Came a long way. Rookie season was nice, and everybody expected him to be this breakout top flight player last year. Oh my God. He struggled a little bit in the beginning of the season, the doghouse, but he really found himself. He's found his voice on this team. He's become a leader of this wide receiver group, and his route running is impeccable. Like, if you watch him from that first year till now, he's made such a big improvement. He's stronger. He's faster. His route running so good. I love Brandon Ayuk, man. And he was live on Instagram, and he goes, listen, faithful, we appreciate you guys coming out. We're going to need you more He goes, I got all this ice on me, but I got no rings. I need another ring that you can't buy. He wants to win this Super Bowl. Brandon Ayuk's motivated. He had a hell of a season. You know he's going to get paid this offseason. Shout out to BA, man. 1,000 yards. What a season for BA, man. Everybody thought he was going to be done. They're going to trade him. And not everybody. A lot of people did. I always say everybody. A lot of people did. And people wrote him off. They were like, he's not going to be a good receiver. He's in the doghouse. And, man, he really found himself. That tough love really changed him out. And he proved he had that dog in him. Remember in the training camp, him and Fred Warner were fighting with each other. They were getting into camp battles. And Fred was like, I'm trying to bring out the best in BA. And he really stepped up this year. He was so consistent all year, man. Brandon Ayuk was just a guy that you could rely on. And he came to play every game. He wasn't hurt. And he made big play after big play. And it was fun to see Brandon Ayuk really grow. 1,000-yard receiving. So shout out to BA, man. Nice to see. A Boogie says, it's Kittle finding his connection with Purdy. A scary sight to see. It truly is, man. It was good to see Kittle being used like the way we wanted. You know, all year, like, gotta throw to Kittle. We know how good of a blocker he is and how much he does for the run game. But seeing him utilized as a passing threat in the red zone, it's scary, man, because now teams are going to have to double him up. Linebackers are going to have to be accounting for Kittle, and then opens up the run game and everything else. So, yeah, I've been so happy to see George Kittle blow up. Had to wear his jersey today. Shout out to Big George, man. He's been really killing it. He truly is the people's tight end. And it was cool to see. Did you guys see? I'm sure you did. The beginning of the game and halftime. It was his grandma's 100th birthday on the 6th. So 2 days ago. Happy belated birthday to George Kittle's grandma. 100 years old. And she was out at the game hugging him and you know, loving him up. And grandma got all the hype, man. It's cool. 100 years old. She was walking. She was standing. Bro, she's in great shape for 100 years old. I hope I make it to 100. And I hope I look half as, you know, good health-wise as his grandma, man. Shout out to Grandma Kittle. She really came out, and I think she energized George, man. And let's win a ring for Grandma Kittle, man. So it was good to see George Kittle really step up this season. It's been nice. Been very nice. So very, very good. It is a little bittersweet that Nick Bosa didn't get the sack record, the Alden Smith's record, but I feel like it was in his head too much. Honestly, these last 2 weeks, I feel like he was over trying, and you could tell he was like really trying to get a sack, but he was in his head. But hey, he finished the season with 18.5 sacks, and he led the NFL. Nick Bosa finished the season as the NFL leader in sacks. So shout out to him, man. Great year, great season. There's been so many great players this year, so many good seasons, so many good stories. Obviously, Brock Purdy's like the craziest story out there. That last pick of the draft, and he's really stepped in and done a lot of work. But, I mean, this team is great. Number 2 seed. I mean, this team, I don't know, man. This team is special. I really hope they can win it all. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. We'll see who we play. It depends on this game right here on Sunday Night Football. And then they're going to tell us what day the game is. So hopefully, you know, they can announce this game time soon. And I will see some of you guys at the game. Hopefully everybody makes it out to this playoff game. I want to see a lot of Niner fans in the stadium. I want to see this place packed out to the max. And I want to see the Niners win a playoff game. Let's go, baby. It's going to be scary. It's going to be dangerous. It's going to be tough. The playoffs are a different monster. Regular season, you throw it out the window. It's a whole nother ball game. Everybody starts at 0-0. Nobody's got a win. Nobody's got a loss right now. So we'll see. It's going to be a beautiful playoff run, man. And I want them to go all the way. 4 games left. That's all the way we got to do. My man, Wayne Breezy. My man, what's up, Wayne? We got to connect. We got to talk. I've been out of the grid for a bit. I've been sick, but we got my boy Wayne back. I love you, man. Appreciate you. You know what we got to do. We got to link up this week. We got to do a show together. We got to figure it all out. Hit me up. If you want to hop on now, let me know. David Villa, what's good, baby? If you want to hop on now, Wayne, let me know. I'll give you the link. You can join, and we'll talk about this great victory we had. This victory over the Cardinals. We are 6-0 against the NFC West. Undefeated against the NFC West. First time since 1997. Crazy, man. It's crazy to me. 49ers Undefeated in the NFC West, baby. Let's go. I'm hyped up, man. I can't believe it. Should we just wear the George Kittle jersey for the rest of the playoffs? I don't know. Or I should wear the CMC jersey next week. I don't know. I got a dilemma. I don't know what jersey to wear next week for the playoffs. It's going to be tough. Maybe I'll wear like 4 jerseys. Every quarter, I take one off. Boom, Kittle. Boom, CMC. Boom, Debo. Boom, Bosa. Is that what we got to do? Is that what we should do? I don't know. Maybe we will. Anyways, appreciate the big Wayne Breezy, man. Guy's incredible. Guy's a beast. What do you guys think? How do you guys feel about this dub? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Are you guys happy? Do you think it was an A plus, a B? What do you grade it? I think this was a solid A. I know we started a little rough, but it shows this team can come back, make the adjustments that they need, and they just dominated in the second half, man. And they weren't even trying in the first half. This was an A to me. They took care of business. My man, 49er first takes. Let's go. It's good, my man. Debbie, she says an A. So are any of our cornerbacks coming back? In terms of injury, Emmanuel Mosley's out for the season, unfortunately. That was a tough injury. Honestly, I've said it all year that the Emmanuel Mosley injury was the biggest injury of them all. That literally was the biggest injury of them all this year. I mean, Diamond Lenore, they've been really testing him out. He's going to have his hands full in the playoffs. We know they're going to try to throw it to Lenore. Maybe Jenkins gets some action. And Dante Johnson tore his ACL this year too. So that was another one. He was a solid veteran that could come in a pinch. And, Jason Verrett got hurt before he even got a chance. So secondary took a beat down, in terms of injuries. But they've been fighting, man. And shout out to Jimmy Ward. This guy really stepped up this year as a nickel cornerback. The guy was not even a nickel. He even said it. He goes, I'm not a cornerback. Never really played nickel. In college, he was a safety / nickel a little bit, but he was more of a safety. He's a traditional safety, and that was his position. He wanted to come back a couple years back when he signed his extension as a safety primarily. Injuries this year, Tashawn Gibson, who was playing out of his mind, couldn't bench him, so they threw Jimmy in the slot, and every week he's gotten better at it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with the cornerback spot. That CB2 might be the Achilles of this team right now. They're going to test them. These playoff teams are going to attack Lenore or Jenkins or whoever's at cornerback too. We'll see. Hopefully, Emmanuel Mosley, gets himself healthy. I know he's been posting a lot on his TikTok. I saw Mosley last week, actually, after the Raiders game and post game. We were at the Win bar celebrating. We were hyped up. It was crazy. E-Man was there. He was rocking. He looked good. He said he felt good. So he's 9 weeks post-op rehabbing. If you go to his TikTok, he posts his updates all the time. He looks like he's doing really well. I think the Niners will try to bring him back on a 1-year deal, prove it type thing. Unfortunately, he would have got the bag, but the injury really limited him. So they're going to probably give him a 1-year type prove it deal. And hopefully he can stay healthy and ball out. But from what I've seen, what I've heard from talking to him, Emmanuel's doing good. So that's a guy that we really, really missed this year. So Jenkins, 49er first takes. Yeah, he was there today, Aaron. I saw Jenkins in there too. They took out the starters and they gave Jenkins some action in there. So we'll see. I expected Jenkins to play a little bit today because they really have to make sure they have the best players on the field. They got to make sure they have the best player at every position. And really, that CB2 spot is going to be a big, big spot in the playoffs because they're going to play aggressive against the Niners, and they're going to throw all day. They're not going to throw to Mooney Ward. They're going to throw it to that CB2 spot, whether it be Jenkins, whether it be Lenore. So we'll see. My man, Joey, what's good, man? All the big-time guys are here. VZ, what's good? Myth Vibes. I love E-Man. I hope we sign him again. I think so. I think they will. I love him too. The guy was having a phenomenal year before the injury. He's probably going to be a Pro Bowler. But we'll see what happens. At the end of the day, Niners, 10-game win streak, man. We're hyped up. Victory Sunday. Tomorrow's Victory Monday. I love you guys. I'm going to go finish the rest of this Sunday night game. I hope everybody has a good rest of their night. Hyped up. Let's get some more wins. Let's go. Playoffs coming. I hope to see you guys in the playoffs. And at the end of the day, Seahawks, Packers, I don't mind who we play. We'll see what happens. Real quick, Mario says, wouldn't you rather face the Packers than the Seahawks? The Seahawks definitely would be scary to play because Pete Carroll, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. We saw that happen last year. Niners swept the Rams, and then they couldn't beat them in the NFC Championship game. Pete Carroll knows the Niners. Definitely would be tough. But, hey, the Niners have a good track record against the Packers historically. Packers are hot, and records are meant to be broken, right? The Niners have crushed Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs historically. Could they get another win against Aaron Rodgers? I don't know. Both the Niners have the Niners have a win streak on both teams. So really, to me, it doesn't matter. I just want to make the playoffs, which we have, and win. I hope we can beat any of those teams. And honestly, to me, it doesn't matter who we play because they got to come to Levi Stadium. And I know the Packers want revenge, but so do the Seahawks. Both those teams want revenge. Both those teams would have to come to Levi's, and all of you guys will be there, and we'll be screaming our heads off. But hey, let's worry about that at the end of the week. Tonight, let's enjoy this dub. Victory Sunday, number 2 seed, 10 games in a row. I love you. We're back. I'm feeling a lot better, so I'll be live all week this week. I'm back. Sorry that I had to take a hiatus. Literally, I thought I was going to die. But hey, we're back. We made it. And on that note, have a good night. Appreciate you, faithful. I love you. Bang, bang. Niner gang.